right, welcome to String Adventure Part 7. This is the last one, so let's go ahead and get this thing rocked out right now. So we were in room 2 where we left off, and we were programming. Whoa, what were we programming? I think we were going to program the room to east room. Okay, so that method gets called right here, line 100 on my code, which is inside of the room 2 mine maze. And my indentions are driving me crazy. You're probably laughing at me right now. That's perfectly fine. I don't care, because we're going to knock this program out so we can get on with our lives. Okay, so the last one, room 2 east room. This is a method that we call, as you just saw previously, and what we're going to do is we're just going to elaborate on the adventure. So if the user typed in that they want to go to the east room, this would take them there, and this method would be the east room. Now we could, if we wanted to, make a totally separate object for the east room. However, I'm just considering room 2 as an object, and room 2 has an east room adjacent to it, as well as a upstairs and downstairs and stuff. However, you could easily link this to another object, just like we linked it to this object from our string room control. Okay, so first thing first, room 2 east, once we get inside there, we take our temp answer and set it to just a blank. And then we have a temp answer 2, set that one to blank, and we'll see why I have the second one here in a minute. Then we print out some scary information, because we want to get inside their imagination. And then we ask them, do they want to go downstairs or pick up the disguise? So we put a scanner right here, and then we switch it to lowercase, and then we go through the directions, okay, seeing if they typed in any words that come from our directions array. And again, we sign it that whatever word that pops up first from going through this for loop and looking for the index of those words, whichever one's first of that array gets assigned to temp answer, and deletes all the other text they typed in. So if they typed in a big sentence, it gets deleted with only this one word. We call break to get out of the loop, and then that's pretty much it. We'll move on to the next section of the room 2 east, compile it, make sure there's no issues, and there's none, thank goodness. And let's go and elaborate on this. Okay, which, let me make sure I got my brackets all lined up here. You'd be shocked, it's actually easier just to create code than to sit there and try and make a video and copy and paste it into where you're talking. Okay, next, right below where we broke out of that for loop, now we're going to check the temp answer to see if it equals to the word exit. If that's true, then we're going to tell them they can't exit, and we have some fun stuff right there. Say, so sad, the exit disappeared with clown magic. You are now trapped forever in the clown nightmare. Then we call the game over. Okay, so I guess technically they did exit, but they exited the game. Okay, so I was inspired by the Choose Your Own Adventure books, where you pick the wrong storyline and game over. Okay, now if they did not choose
list
exit,
of information.
Okay, we check to see if they picked down. If they picked down, then we're going to call the method room 2 downstairs. We just programmed that in the last video, room 2 downstairs. Here you can go through and put some other stuff in. You could get rid of game over. You could, have them type in some more stuff, type in your own scary story and this and that. Okay, so you can do all sorts of cool stuff right down there in the room 2 downstairs, because they clicked or they typed in the word down. Okay, now we'll just assume that they typed down. If they didn't type down, then and they spelled something else that has the word D-O-N or D-O-W-N inside of it, then we're not going to worry about that right now. We're not going to get too advanced. Okay, so let's presume that there is neither one of these are happening right here. Okay, so this if statement's false, this if statement's false. So what next? All right, we're going to put an else statement right here, and thank goodness my brackets didn't line up. Okay, because that would just be fantastic if it did. And which one's this lining up with right here? Oh, it's lining up with that for loop. Okay, perfect. All right, we're actually going to put 2 for loops. So if you compile this, after you copy it, it won't work. Okay, no big deal. So we'll come down to this else section right here, and then inside this for loop, okay, we're going to see if they had any other action words, okay, such as the word pick up. We're going to be looking specifically for pick up inside their action words because we mentioned up here in the story that there was a disguise on the ground, okay. So we're going to see if they had the word pick up, and then, okay, this is, it's kind of fun. I like this part. Whoops, let me copy and paste it over. All right, so if that is, well, hold on. If they have the word pick up in there, next, let's go ahead and line this up over here. Okay, next, okay, we have another for loop. And this for loop is going to, we'll clean up these brackets here in a second. We'll make sure they all line up, okay? And yeah, we do have one missing for the second for loop. Let me go ahead and get that taken care of. So and there we go. Okay, so this brace should match up with that if statement. This one should close out the for loop right there, and then this brace should match, or excuse me, this brace matches up with this if statement, and then this brace matches up with the for loop. Did I say that right? Yes. Okay, so one, we're checking to see if the word pickup is inside the action words. If that's true, okay, we'll break out of this and it gets assigned a temp answer. Down here we're running the for loop again, and we're going through the array for the pickup items, okay? So right here we got the action words, we're looking for the word pickup, and here we're going to look through their sentence to see if they, inside their pickup items, mention the word disguise, okay? So if they mentioned the word disguise in their scanner input, which was first request, they mentioned disguise, which we check right here. If that's true, next we'll take that word disguise and assign it to temp answer 2, okay? And then we check to see if the temp answer equals pickup, okay? So we're testing to see if the test answer, which was from right up here, was pickup, because we're looking to see if they entered the sentence or something along the lines of, I want to pick up the disguise, okay? So we're looking to see if the word pickup is also true in addition to the word disguise, because we want to make sure that they typed in a complete and logical sentence that says, hey, I want to pick up the disguise and maybe put it on, okay? So we're looking for those terminologies right there. Okay, so we should have those in there. Before we compile, let's make sure we have all of our brackets lined up. I have a suspicion that this else is not matching up. Yep, so else, if I put my mouse over it, it's telling me down there at the bottom that array 163, yep, like the one that should be at the end of the method. So we're going to go ahead and right about here, we're going to put in the other brackets, okay? So that way the matching bracket for the else from line 132, which is what started these two for loops right here, is matched up right down here. Okay, we should be able to compile that without not many errors. And when I say not many, I mean 0, so fantastic. Okay, below the bracket for where we close out the else that checks for the words pickup and disguise, we're going to put an if statement right here. And I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste it again, so that way we got everything in one big chunk. So I'm on line 163, I'm going to go ahead and paste it in there. And there we go. So this is everything for the, well, it scrolls quite a bit. Let me move this down. Okay, so right here is the entire if statement that we want. And let me move this bracket over. Okay, so right here we check to see if temp answer equals pickup and temp answer 2 equals disguise. So those two words were typed in their sentence, and we were able to pull that out of the scanner to see if that's true or not. And then right here we asked them, do you want to well, we told them to pick up this disguise. And then right here we check to see if they want to store it or put it on. Okay, and then again, scanner input, all lowercase. Then we check to see if they put the word store right here. So we tell them that you just store the disguise, and then here we call the method room to store item temp answer 2, and then down here, which you saw before, So room 2 store item, okay, is where we pass in the string value that gets added to that array list. And you can see right here that we passed in the temp answer to string through that method, which was something that we checked to make sure the word disguise was in there before it went this far. Okay, so that adds that item to the array list. And then down here, we print out, after storing the disguise, there's a little time, so you hurry down the stairs. So we forced them to go down the stairs, okay, no matter what. In this if statement right here, and then we call the method room 2 downstairs. And if you remember correctly, I didn't put anything in there, so I'm letting you go ahead and add some items to that. And then down here, okay, if we're saying we didn't get the word store in our scanner input right here, we go to this else if, and we check to see if they requested a put on. Okay, we're looking for the term put on. Okay, if they misspelled it or if they hyphenated it or something like that, it won't register. So we're hoping that they input it exactly like this. Now there's ways you can check variations of it, but right now we're not going to do that. We're just going to mainly focus on the fact that they actually put the word put on just like we told them to when we gave out the list of action words and all that kind of stuff. Okay, then right here, if that's true, then we tell them, okay, you put on the disguise, then we call the method room 2 put on the disguise, which again, right down here is that method. And we didn't do anything with it because I'm hoping you'll build on this. Okay, so there's the if statement. Let's presume though, what happens if they didn't do anything with these two? Okay, what if they didn't type that in? Okay, what we're going to do is we are going to put an else statement. And this is actually going to be the end of the program here. I'm going to put my else statement right here. I'm going to paste it in. I like putting the else where it's kind of right beside the if statement. I'm going to put this back over here. Okay, so the else statement